Hey y'all, it's Kim again. So we're on page 54 of the 78-page document. This is basically some of the people that were interviewed for the House Select Committee on Assassinations for JFK. I mean, there's other documents in here besides just talking about his assassination, but anyway, you'll just see a pattern of stuff that was going on during that time with the CIA. But anyway, let's get going. So I'm going to try to hopefully finish this up in this next two videos, or maybe this last one anyway. But let's go. So Antonio Ortiz Ramirez, OLC 77-4777, 2nd of November 77, regarding visit of Blakey, 2nd of November 77. Blakey provided handwritten version of an autobiographical work prepared by an inmate at Leavenworth, claims to be a former Cuban international officer, including allegation that the author, while serving with Cuban intelligence in Havana, saw a file on LHO Lee Harvey Oswald, which indicated that Oswald was a Soviet intelligence agent. Sovereign memo to CLA Division, 3rd of November 77, attached above and forwarded for action. Request preliminary findings before extensive efforts undertaken. Memo from CCI to Sovereign, CI 600-77, 16th of November 77, regarding a manuscript Hopkins of Cuba desk is reviewing. It says Ortiz right here, but I think it's Ortiz Ramirez. This file, and will forward to the staff a copy of a memorandum, 6 pages written. A sovereign memo to OLC, 25th of November 77, preliminary response that C.I. Holmes has drawn material together, may be reviewed by Blakey. CLA Division, memo for Sovereign, 25th of January 77, evaluation of information in manuscript for Mr. Antonio Ramirez Ortiz, with 4 attachments. CC sent to CCI. All right, Lee Harvey Oswald. Oh boy, this guy. Okay, HSCA requests, 22nd of December 1977, OLC number 77-5685/4, for access to files or documents on or referring to Lee Harvey Oswald. This letter also serves as confirmation of the December 5th oral request for access to the 57-volume collection of files known as the Oswald file. Holy hell, I didn't know there was that much. The collection of files encompasses the following subjects: HSCA request, 6th of January 78, OLC 78-0070, Lee Harvey Oswald, etc., and then Marina, etc. Wow, I didn't know there was that much. Okay, Ralph Paul, HSCA request, 9th of November 1977, OLC number 77-4894, for any and all information generated by or in the possession. CCI memo to OLC, 6th of December 1977, CI 632-77, Holmes, regarding 9th of November request. See document dated 24th of February 1964 in Ruby's file, which is attached to this memorandum. All right, Eduardo Pauley, or William D. Pauley, we've seen his name before. Memo for the record, 6th of September 77, Russ Holmes, page 3, following names, some of whom may have been in contact with Loran Hall. Blakey request, 12th of September 77, OLC 773890, confirms oral request for all agency files. Holmes memo for the record, 29th of September 77, regarding meeting with HSCA reps. I had only one FBI report on this name. However, it turns out that triplet meant William Pauley, a former ambassador and organizer of the Flying Tigers. I said I would run another trace. O Security, Gambino, 19th of October, 77, memo to OLC, info provided and sanitized. CCI memo to OLC, CI 57277, 28th of November of 77, attaches a file on William Douglas Hawley. All right, Eduardo Perez, memo for the record, 6th of September, 77, Russ Holmes, page 3, following names, some of whom may have been in contact with Loran Hall. Lakey request, 12th of September of 77, OLC, number 773890, confirms oral request for all agency files on Eduardo Perez, aka Eddie Bayo. Holmes memo for the record, 29th of September of 77, regarding the meeting with HSCA reps. I said I had many references to Perez and would need some specific biographic information to determine which Perez was of interest to the committee. Triplet was unable to be more specific. O Security, Gambino, 19th of October of 77, memo to OLC, no record. All right, Nancy Perrin, HSCA request, 9th of November, 1977, OLC number 774894, for any and all information generated by or in the possession of CIA on Nancy Perrin. CCI Holmes memo to OLC, 6th of December, 1977, CI 63277, Nancy Rich Perrin, no records identifiable with subjects. All right, David Atlee Phillips, HSCA request, 22nd of December, 1977, OLC 775685/4, for access to files or documents on or referring to David Atlee Phillips, former CIA employee who was in charge of the Cuban desk in the U.S. Embassy in Mexico City in 1964. CCS Lata memo to SADO and O, 20th of January, 1978. CCS files contain information on 5 of the 11 individuals as following: Carswell, Posada, Diosdado, Phillips, and Conan. And then C, memo for details. CCS files contain forms, memoranda, etc. concerning administration of cover exclusively. In the opinion of CCS, identification of specific documents that could be of interest to the HSCA cannot be made until such time as the HSCA staff narrows the focus of its inquiry. DCD 112-70/78, 31 of January 78 in the negative. And then I think this is Bartow, info forwarded SADO and O. And then Louis Posada, HSCA request, 22nd of December, 1977, OLC number 77-5685/4, for access to files or documents on or referring to Louis Posada, jailed in 1976, the Cubana Airlines bombing with Orlando Bosch. CCS Lata memo to SADO and O, 20th of January of 78. CCS files contain information of 5 of the 11 individuals as follows: Carswell, Posada, Diosdado, Phillips, and Conan. See memo for details. CCS files contain forms, memoranda, etc. concerning administration of cover exclusively. In the opinion of CCS, identification of specific documents that could be of interest to the HSCA cannot be made until such time as the HSCA staff narrows the focus of its inquiry. DCD 112/78, 31st of January of 78, and that's negative. And then Bartow, no record. John Rosselli, I think this guy's considered a gangster. I don't know what crime family. Says HSCA request, 11th of November of 77, OLC number 774963, for documents, anti-Castro organizations, memo from Osborne to FBI 527 of 66, footnoted in Senate report. Memo for the record by Osborne, 12/11/67, same, and access to CIA file of John Rosselli, O Security Gambino to OLC, 23rd of November, 77. OS defers to DDO regarding, I don't know what this is, Stern maybe? I don't know. Or maybe it's item one, regarding item one, maybe. Okay, and then attached memos from Osborne to FBI. Correct date is the 18th of May, 66. Attached item 3 for HSCA sanitized. Earl Ruby, HSCA request, 9th of November 1977. OLC number 774894 for any and all information generated by or in the possession of CIA on Earl Ruby. CCI memo to OLC, 6th of December 1977. CI 632-77 by Holmes. See attached dated 24th February 1964 in Ruby's file, which is attached to this memorandum. So that may be Jack Ruby's like brother. Okay, Jack. Okay, aka Jack Rubenstein or Jack Ruby. Okay, so this is the guy that actually they have him on video, at least from what we saw. He was the one that came up and shot Lee Harvey Oswald in the Dallas police station, like in the Sally Port is what they call it. Okay, so HSCA request, 9th of November 1977, OLC number 77-4894 for any and all information generated by or in the possession of CIA on Jack Ruby for Jack Rubenstein. CCI memo to OLC, 6th of December 1977. CI 632-77 by Holmes. See attached sanitized file on Jack Ruby. Included in this file is a list of 28 identified FBI documents and a list of 4 identified Department of State cablegrams. The sanitized file on Jack Ruby may be shown to members of the HSC, and a copy of the list passed. The staff asked, however, that the Ruby file be returned to Mr. Holmes. Now, the staff has no objection to your office making a copy of the sanitized file. All right, so Rockefeller Commission, select committee to study governmental operations with respect to the intelligence activities. Senate following documents are footnoted in the final report. A Blakey request to OLC, 3rd of November 77. A letter from DCI to Rockefeller Commission dated 5th of May 7th, 75. Memo dated 6/23 of 63 concerning liaison between the FBI and the CIA. A memo for the record from CIA analyst dated April 1st of 75. Memorandum S2 from CSAS and CI to CWHD in the Cuba updated. And CIA item 298, Warren Commission's 212 or February 12th, 64 request, reportedly an internal memo from staff officer to staff officer dated March 5th of 64. A CCI memo to OLC, a CI 622-77, 29th of November 77. The staff has been unsuccessful in locating copies of those documents described in paragraphs 1, 2, 3, and 4. The search continues. In addition, regarding CIA item 298, would appreciate any additional details relating to it. All right, so HSCA request, OLC number. Okay, so we got George Senator, excuse me, 9th of September, 77, William Houston Seymour, 12th of September, Clay Shaw, Rima Shirakova, W. David Slauson, Richard Snyder, Gene Suter, something like that. I don't know. AKA Michael Rue, Michael Hertz. Okay, William Stuckey, Frank Sturgis, or Frank Fiorini. I think he was a gangster too. And then Clay Shaw, his memo for the record, 6th of September of 77, Russ Holmes. Page 3, following names, some of whom may have been in contact with Loran Hall. Holmes' memo for the record, 29th of September, 77, regarding meeting with HSCA reps. I indicated that the agency has a 201 file on Shaw, which I shall sanitize for the committee and identify other agency documents contained in the file. Okay. Let's see here. Keep going. Frank Sturgis or Frank Fiorini, memo for the record. 6th of September, 77, Russ Holmes, page 3, following names, some of whom may have been in contact with Loran Hall. Blakey request, 12th of September, 77, OLC 773890. This will also confirm the oral request for all agency files in the following or on the following individuals and operations: Frank Sturgis, Fiorini, Holmes' memo for the record, 29th of September of 77, regarding meeting with the HSCA reps. I explained that Sturgis's file was in 4 volumes, which will take time to sanitize. Triplet asked if I could do this file next. I said I would. Oh, security, and then Gambino, 19th of October, 77, memo to OLC, info provided. All right, Santos Traficante. I think this guy is also a gangster. It says Blakey Admiral Turner, 21st of October, 77. IG 77, like Inspector General, and then 772252, and then X register, I don't know, number 77 6724/2. The HSCA has subpoenaed Santos Traficante. If you could determine whether or not Traficante in any manner had any relationship or was ever affiliated with the CIA, and inform me prior to November 2nd. All right. And then Mitchell Livingston Warbell, HSCA request, 22nd of December, 1977. OLC 775685/4 for access to files or documents on or referring to Mitchell Livingston Warbell, the third chairman of the board, Military Armament Corporation, DCD 112/78, 31st of January 78, file A-12-79-00, containing all DCD material. This file is on loan. It should be returned. Please hand carry. IPG 23rd of February of 78. Info to be forwarded. SADO and O. All right. Warrant Commission documents withheld from release by the CIA. HSCA request. 1st of December 1977. OLC number 775333 for CD3. Okay, number 347, 361, 384, 426, 698, 710, 817, 871, 902, 935, 944, 990, and 1010, and then 1222, 1479, 1551. And you see all the dates there. And they've got a bunch of pages. Ooh, this one's long, 95 pages of stuff. All right. We're coming down to the end. All right. So the Zapruder film. Interesting. Okay. HSCA request, 3rd of November of 77. Any and all information concerning the CIA's analysis and or use of the Zapruder film. A CCI memo to OLC CI 62277, 29th of November 77, attached a Xerox copy of an NPIC analysis of the Zapruder film. This material was contained in a file from the OGC and should be coordinated with that office and with NPIC. In addition, there are some remarks concerning the Zapruder film and the agency's response to Paul L. Hawks' copyrighted memorandum dated 24th of March 1975. All right, inventory of 201, 289, 240, volume 1, part 1. Wow. So they've got all this stuff. I'll just kind of, okay, here's 4. We are. And this is actually just, this whole thing is just basically a chronology of this documents of what they've done throughout this whole thing. I mean, this is kind of interesting. You're getting all of this information, like the dates and stuff. Like here, yeah, this is kind of cool. Okay, so here's Lee Oswald and Kostikov. So, yeah. hmm Yeah, this is kind of weird. Oh, Mexican communist contacts with Oswald. Isn't that kind of cool? So here's more. So this is like an actual, they did each, I guess this is basically a chart of what they did as far as their chronology. Hopefully I'm not moving this too fast. I just don't want to have to read all these names on here. That's a lot of stuff. Especially like this list here. Okay, let's see. Oh wow. So this is, I guess, more documents maybe, or more of those cases. I don't know. Okay, almost done. Oh wow. So volume 27, volume 1, part 1, bulkies. This is pre-assassination file. Wow. That's interesting. So we've got all this stuff on here. Hmm. That's kind of interesting. Copies in this file provided by National Archives as package, thus internal numbers not appear on state messages. Okay, both sanitized and unsanitized copies of each document. See as copy of this right here, included list of American defectors. Oh, 11. Okay, no, maybe that's just what they, I don't know what this is, why it's blank. Okay. All right, well, we made it through it. So this was basically the whole point of this was the HSCA chronology, just so you see that's what the whole document was about, is how they went about all that stuff, when they made requests, when they interviewed people, what documents I guess they received, that kind of stuff. So anyway, we'll just keep going. We've got one more for this section. This one's 30 pages. We'll see if I get to it today. I don't know. I want to do some other videos on stuff. But I will talk to y'all later. If I don't make any more today, I'll get around to it eventually. Anyway, talk to y'all later. Have a great weekend. Bye.